Here we go.
Hey everybody, Eric Sill here with Carolina Autos. Swing around and let you check out the new Camaro V6 1LE, as Randy Popes would say, 1LE baby. I'm up here on Squirrel Spur. Just let everybody get a good look around the car, down the road. Just up here filming a bit with the Camaro. Decided to do a quick kind of overview probably. Maybe not too in depth, but if there's anything you guys want to see in particular, any features or anything, just let me know. I'll probably have the car for about 2 years before I get an SS 1LE. Went with the blue, with the sunroof and all. I'll flip the camera around here in a second and show everybody. But yeah, we'll get some more content going now that we got the new car. Got a couple drives coming up and whatnot, so you guys be looking forward to that. And let me flip the camera around so we can get a review going. All right, we'll start with just a walk around of the exterior. This is the 2020 V6 1LE. That's a full walk around of the car. So we'll start here at the back. Just go over a couple of the options and what makes this car a 1LE. So the most obvious option, probably from the back of the car, is the GM PP exhaust and the RS badge. I think the RS badge comes on any RS, not just the 1LE. But the 1LE gets the blacked out taillights and that blade spoiler on the back. Sorry about that, traffic. Also with the 1LE package, you get the bigger brakes, Brembos on the front, standard GM calipers on the back, and the satin color wheels with Goodyear Eagle F1s, and they are a staggered setup on the 1LE, on both the V6 and the V8 1LE. So you get 275, 375 20s on the back, and then I believe they're 255s on the front. Let's see, there you go, yep, or 245. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. There we go, 245, 40, 20. And you can see there the Camaro Brembo brake calipers from the standard SS. The SS 1LE gets a even bigger set of calipers and rotors. In the front, you get the satin black hood, which is definitely the most easy way to distinguish the 1LE. And then another little RS badge up here in the grille. GM's kind of gotten some hate for the 2019, 2020 front ends. I think that's more applies to the SS though. SS does look a little funky. I'll give you a close-up of the tread pattern here. It's nice and dirty because I'm on a little dirt pull off here. And I did go with the sunroof. We'll take a look at the inside real quick. So this car was optioned with the sunroof and the Bose speakers, which also includes the bigger, I believe, 8-inch screen versus a 7-inch screen. It does look a lot nicer. Came with Camaro floor mats. Let's see if I can get it to focus a little better. Get a good view of the inside here. Pretty much useless back seats, but we'll show them to you anyway. I mean, children can fit back there, maybe not in my driving position. I'm pretty tall, I'm 6'4". So the seat's not quite all the way back, but it pretty much is against the seat. And on that side, you can see that seat's against the back seat as well, but it moves up quite a bit. So You wouldn't want to get an adult back there, but that's fine. You got a little button in here for the trunk. I'll show you that. There's a couple ways to open the trunk. You can either do it with the key fob and it'll pop up, or if you look right under here, there's a button right there next to the backup camera. Let's open that up. So plenty of space in there. You can see that football in the back. That's all the way at the front of the trunk. Back of the trunk, front of the trunk. I don't know which way you say that. Got me some jumper cables and whatnot in here. Pretty small opening, but not exactly the purpose of this car. We'll walk around here. I'll show you in from the passenger side while we're over here. So again, got the Bose speakers, plenty of footwell room for the passenger. They do have power seats. The passenger side just does forward and back, kind of up and down, and then the seat back obviously. The driver's side actually has like a lip on it. You can probably tell the front of my driver's seat is a little higher than the front of this seat because I kick it up a bit since my legs are so long to keep it resting on. Glove box. Plenty of junk in there. I'm gonna pop the hood. Show you guys the hood, under the hood rather. Not a whole lot to look at, but where is the latch? There we go. So there's the V6. Sorry, I had a bee on me. So you can tell this car was definitely made with a V8 in mind. The V6 looks tiny sitting in there. Got about 8 inches of space between the front of the motor and the radiator, which is where 2 more cylinders should be probably. Once you look down through there, you can see the exhaust and everything going through. It's got like integrated headers integrated into the heads. You see the GM steering rack down there. One of the best electric steerings I've ever felt. So yeah, so there's an exterior walk around. We'll do a quick overview of the interior and the menus and everything, and then I'll do a driving review. Oh, one last thing for the exterior review. All the lights are full LED. Turn signals, tail lights, brake lights, headlights of course, high beams and low beams. And my Veloster N, it was just the low beams that were LED. The high beams were like HIDs. So let's get this shut and give you a tour of the inside. All right, so once you're in the car, you can see it's pretty tight in here. I'm holding this about where my head would be. So that's your lookout over the hood. And you guys will see that in my driving videos because I wear my GoPro, which is right there on my head. So let's get the steering wheel straightened out here.
Testing.
Don't mind my radar detector.
System ready.
You got an electric parking brake. Down for off, up for on. You do have to have your foot on the brake and the clutch to start the car, and your foot on the brake to operate the... I'm just going to straighten this out a little bit. There we go. So you can see the gauges. There's the backup camera. Pretty good quality. Nothing too special, but does the job. So we got our parking brake set. So as you can see, you can got a selector over here to go through all the menu options, all of your cruise controls on this side, and then right under the steering wheel, you've got your forward and back buttons, which you operate from the back, which is really nice actually. And then these buttons, just for the volume, again operated from the back. a little cycle through the menu here. So trip A, I haven't been getting great fuel economy for this trip because I've been driving some back roads a little bit. You can see I'm averaging over 2,500 miles, 18.2, so not too bad. Not great, but still better than the V8. The fuel range, oil life, tire pressures front and rear, air filter life. I'm not sure how it measures that, I guess just by mileage. Average speed, timer, so you can just hit select to start the timer. It doesn't have like an actual 0 to 60 timer like the Veloster N, but we'll probably try to use that to get some 0 to 60 times. Just hold it and it resets it. That's pretty much everything on here. You hold it and it resets it. Coolant, oil PSI. Let's give it a rev and make sure it goes up. There we go. You guys can probably hear the pops from the exhaust. So those are all of your center console menu items. Over on the left, you got your power mirror adjusters. Pretty much standard. I'm not going to mess with them. Lock and unlock. And then what's really nice, on the Veloster N, I only had the automatic window on the driver's side. This one has it for both. So you just give it one tap and all the way down. One tap all the way up. Same for the other side. You don't need to see that. And then sunroof control is right there. Got your interior lights, which are also LED, OnStar, stuff like that. And there's a view out of the sunroof, which is always nice. Rearview mirror's got this nice clear frame around it. And that's pretty much it for the left side and the top controls. And then you come to the center console, you adjust your air temperature right there, like this. You can just put it on auto. There's an auto button, or you can just manually do it, which is how I've got it set. And then this adjusts your fan speed over here, up and down. We're just gonna leave it all the way down. Then in the center, obviously gear selector, shifter, whatever you want to call it. Then you got your traction button. So you've got 3 traction modes. It starts up in default as on, so you see there are no lights. Press it once, traction control off. Give it a second, press it again, traction control on. Now if you want to put it in competitive mode, like limited traction control, which is what I drive kind of aggressively in, because it'll save you if you really act stupid to an extent. There's a certain cadence. You have to press it twice, but you press it slowly. So 1, 2. And then ESC competitive mode. So it lets the car have quite a bit of slip angle from the front to the back, but it only lets you go to a certain point. It lets the wheel, if the rear wheel speed is faster than the front wheel speed by a certain percentage, I don't know what the percentages are, it cuts power. And if the car gets really sideways, it will cut power as well. It's done it to me a couple times. So, and it doesn't hard cut power, it just kind of limits the torque to the rear wheels. So with the 1LE, you do get the limited slip diff, just a mechanical, nothing electronic or anything fancy like that, like on the SS, but it's more than good enough for the V6 because it doesn't make nearly as much power or torque. So for center console options, your main entertainment screen here, we're already at the home screen, so you've got all kinds of settings and Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. I don't need to go into everything. There's nothing nearly as fancy as the Veloster on here, but the Android Auto works exactly the same, Apple CarPlay exactly the same. You can go to your phone, you can go to music and see FM and whatever you want to see. You can see Laura's been in here. Let's turn that off so we don't get any kind of copyright. But yeah, that's a full interior from the driver's seat. And we will, one thing I did want to talk about is storage. Storage is very limited in this car. So you can see I've got like a little flashlight and my change pouch down there. That's just the door handle. And you've got a couple little pouches over there, same as on the driver's side. You really can't put anything up here because it's going to roll around and get in the way of the shifter. So basically your options are glove box, passenger seat, cup holders, or this tiny little spot here, which holds a pen and a cable. And then this is the USB connector to go for your Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. And then you've got one little storage pocket back there, which I have a mask and some gum in. So that's the only real downside, is visibility is tight. I mean, you can see there's the roof is right there. So that's your window. My hand can literally stretch from the top of the roof to the top of the steering wheel. So that's, but you really get used to it. I was kind of concerned when I first took a test drive in it that I wouldn't get used to that visibility, but with the seat being able to go up and down, so you've got your adjusters over here, the bottom of the seat can actually go further down than I have it now. I've actually got it up a bit so that I can get a good view and my head's not quite on the ceiling. But overall, I'm really happy with it. Interior is a great place to be. It's super comfortable, a lot more comfortable than the Veloster, probably because it's heavier, longer wheelbase. But yeah, let's do some, we'll do some driving with it, and I'll just show you guys kind of around some of the features and functions, like the no lift shift and the traction control and things like that. All right, so we got the GoPro strapped on. Continue our little review here. Get buckled in. I'm gonna get the windows down. Hopefully that's not too loud. I'm not going to be going too fast here. This is a pretty twisty road. So we'll start with the traction control full on. Oh, we got a car coming, so we'll wait. Oh, and we got somebody come flying around that corner. Look at this guy go. Pulling a trailer too. All right, we'll let that van get a little ahead of us. So we're in sport mode. We'll go through the modes here. Let's see, we'll start with it in tour actually. There we go. So that turns off the valve in the active exhaust, softens up the steering, which is really, like, there's just no weight to it pretty much. And you can notice the car's pretty quiet. Doesn't change the ratio. It's not variable ratio steering. It just changes the weight, the feet, or kind of the pushback you get from the wheel. And hopefully this camera angle is okay. I want you to be able to see the gauges and the road. I'll have to check. I'll probably try it a couple different ways, and you guys just let me know what's best. So you can see good ratio here. This is a really tight corner, and I'm not having to go hand over hand or anything like that. So that's the exhaust in tour mode. We'll put it in sport mode now. Definitely louder. She handles like an absolute dream. This car is so planted. Oh, somebody threw their grass clippings on the road. That's not nice. It's pretty dangerous for motorcyclists. We'll give it a full rev out here. There was the no lift shift there. In sport mode, I'm pretty sure it works in tour mode. I just don't know why you would leave it in tour mode to do it. And we'll use this little spot here to turn around actually. Let's see. I got good visibility both ways here. Try to pull out without getting in anybody's way. All right, so with traction on, you can see if I kind of clutch it, see the traction control light there kicked on. It didn't let the car go any sideways at all or anything. But this thing sounds really good, especially in sport mode. It does have a track mode, but I found that it doesn't change the exhaust at all, or the throttle response really. It just makes the steering really heavy. It's like, it's way too heavy actually. This Alcantara wheel is kind of slick. I'm not slick, it's just not really that grippy. So I found that sport mode is by far the best to kind of drive aggressively in. And we'll see if we can act a little silly here. I'm not looking at the traction control. I don't know if it kicked on there or not, but it might have. We can can get it to kick on here probably. Nope. This thing's just it's got so much mechanical grip because it's a V6 and it's got big fat tires on it, sticky summer tires. It really doesn't need the traction control that often unless you are really hammering it. And I'm going slow here so you guys can hear me. I'm not just going wide open ham. No rev matching on the V6, so that's all just me. When we get to the bottom of the hill down here, I'll turn around, I'll put it in competitive mode, and I'll show you the difference. I'll get it to kick sideways in first gear, and the traction control won't step in unless I really kick it way out. Plus we can't go too fast, there's somebody up there in front of us. This is kind of a busy road. It's like a cut-through road for a neighborhood that's down here and Meadows of Dan, which is on the other end. I love Squirrel Spur, but it can get a little annoying with the traffic sometimes. But if you get a clear run without anybody, it is one of the best driving roads around. It's short, but that just lets you memorize all the corners. You can really get after it. So heel toe downshift here. There's a nice view of Pilot Mountain and everything. This corner is decreasing radius. It caught a couple people out that I know. We won't stay behind these guys all the way to the bottom. We'll turn around at the next pull-off. There's a pull-off on the left up here. I just want to make sure there's a straightaway so I don't pull out in front of anybody or anything like that. Because sometimes you'll have motorcycles up here. They come zipping through quicker than you think, and you really can't hear them unless they're in front of you, you know, and they're coming up. It's really hard to hear them sometimes. And a couple times I've seen real close incidents of people like pulling off to the left and stuff in the middle of a corner. Yeah, there's a pull-off right there. There we go. Let's slow down so we don't scrape anything. And we will let these people go on up a bit. So let's put it in competitive mode, 2 taps. ESC competitive mode, hopefully everybody can see that. Alright. Don't see anybody coming from the other way. Don't hear anything. Alright. So I'll show you what I meant by kicking it out. So you can just kind of clutch it. It allows a lot of wheel spin. That was a ton of wheel spin there. And the car did get a little sideways. Same thing, I'm not going to do it because it's a brand new clutch and I'm not going to kick it in second gear, but it will definitely kick the tail out in the middle of a corner in second gear if you just pop the clutch a little bit. So we'll give you another no lift shift here. So you just hold your foot to the floor and hit the shifter. The thing is excellent for heel toe downshifting. Gears are really long, so we're in third gear. And third gear actually takes you up to 97 miles an hour. Oh, these people are going to pull off and let us go by. Blew the horn there for him to say thank you. Third gear just keeps on pulling. On the brakes, hard on the brakes. Heel toe in a second. I don't no lift shift it every time. I think sometimes I actually kind of forget. Heel toe into first for this corner. So we'll do a little kick out here. On the brakes. This thing just has so much front end grip. I mean, you have to get really silly to get it to really slide. Whoa. Oh, it sounds so good. down here. So that's my full review of the car. Exterior, interior, got to see the driving, kind of the different modes and everything. But if there's something I looked over that you guys want to know about, just drop a comment and I'll get around to it. I'm probably going to try to do a video a weekend with it until I kind of run out of stuff to talk about, which is what happened with the Veloster, really. There just wasn't really much more to do. But I'm also going to turn the camera off. I'm going to do a full run of this road, Squirrel Spur, today, so that'll be next week's video. So thanks everybody for watching, and we'll keep the cameras rolling. And welcome to the 1LE. Thank y'all.